So this topic is the design of this topic is design of cantilever retaining walls. Okay, so I think you may have seen some structures like this. Okay, okay, uh, yeah, you may have seen some structures like this. So what is this? This is a retaining wall. So what is the purpose of providing this type of retaining wall? What we will be doing, we will be constructing some wall type arrangement. We will be constructing some wall type arrangement like this. Sorry, we will be constructing some wall type arrangement like this, so that what is the purpose of providing such type of arrangement, so that it will retain the earth material which is laying on the other side of this wall. So the main purpose is we don't want this earth material to fail on this side. So retain this earth material, what we will be doing, we will be providing some retaining structure. So this is called as a retaining wall. This is called as a retaining wall. Okay, so this is called as a retaining wall. We will see different types of retaining walls which will be learning. Okay, so this is another different type of retaining wall. You can see here some earth material or some hill area is there on this area, and this wall, this retaining wall, this retaining wall okay, this retaining wall is retaining this earth material to prevent it from falling down on this area. Okay, so this is the one purpose for providing this retaining wall. You can see this another type of retaining wall. This is the failed retaining wall, or this is displaced from its original position. The original position was here, but it is displaced from its original position like this. But it is a one of the example of RCC retaining wall. It is a example of RCC retaining wall. Okay, why this is failing? Because due to as this is not properly designed, or the pressure from the earth is very high as compared with its designed pressure or permissible pressure, therefore it is failed. Okay, this particular retaining wall is failed, but the purpose was to retain this soil material or the material of this hilly area. There is some hilly area on this side, so to retain this soil material, this type of retaining wall is provided. Okay, okay, now here you can see this is the wing wall. This is the wing wall of a bridge. This is the wing wall of a bridge, and you can see here okay, this is the wing wall of a bridge, and you can see here some earth material is retained by this particular wing wall. Some earth material is there and it is retained by this wing wall. So it is also one type of retaining wall. It works as a retaining wall only. Okay, next picture of the retaining wall. The main purpose is to just get an idea what is a retaining wall. So retaining wall, the main purpose is to retain some material on one side of that particular wall. That is called as a retaining wall. So what we will be seeing in this particular lecture, we will be seeing what is retaining wall, what are the different parts of retaining wall, types of retaining wall, and earth pressure acting on the retaining walls. Okay, okay, so retaining wall is a structure which holds some soil or some backfill material on one side of it, okay, so as to prevent from falling of that material on other side, to prevent the falling of material on other side. This is called as a retaining wall. Now retaining walls can be constructed of different materials such as RCC. This particular retaining wall which is shown in this particular picture, this is made up of RCC. But at the same time, retaining walls can be constructed with the help of your bricks. Then retaining walls can be constructed with blocks. It can be constructed with boulders. it can be constructed with timbers. Okay, so different materials can be used. In nowadays we can see some precast retaining walls also. We can see some precast retaining walls are being used in the field also. Okay, now uses of retaining wall. The retaining walls are mainly used to prevent the failure of some soil material on other side of some area. Okay, so these type of retaining walls are generally used for construction of building basements. Okay, you can I'll show you some pictures regarding the construction of building basement. Then these are used for construction of wing wall or abutment in the bridges. At the same time, it can be used in the construction of embankments or roads, railways, etc. Okay, you can see here in this particular picture some construction is going on here. There are some footings here, there are some footings are being constructed here. So this is a basement area because the ground level is somewhere here, so to prevent the soil on this side to prevent to fail in this particular area, what these peoples are doing here, they have provided some retaining wall here. Okay, they have provided some retaining wall here. So what is the purpose of providing this retaining wall? This retaining wall will prevent the movement of the soil or backfill material on other side of this retaining wall in this particular area, so that this particular area can be used as a basement area. So this is one of the use of your retaining wall. Just a minute. Okay, then in this next picture you can see here, okay, in this next picture you can see here, these people are constructing some basement wall here. They are providing some basement here, and a retaining wall is constructed in this particular area, and they have proposed to construct the retaining wall throughout like this. Okay, so what is the purpose? There is some soil material is there, soil material or backfill material is there. So they want to prevent this soil material to fail in this particular room, Okay, therefore they are constructing some RCC retaining wall here. Okay, we can construct retaining wall in using RCC or brickwork also, but if we construct some retaining wall with brickwork in this particular area, what will happen? The thickness of brickwork will be very high. Therefore they have proposed to construct a RCC retaining wall here. They have constructed RCC retaining wall here. Okay, here again you can see this is a basement area, and they have provided some retaining wall like this here to prevent the movement of soil on this area, from this area, to fill the soil from this area to this inside this room. They have constructed some retaining wall. Okay, I am just showing some pictures to get your idea cleared why we are providing retaining wall. Here again you can see some retaining wall is constructed like this, and they are constructing some basement in this particular region. They are constructing some basement here. Some basement is being constructed in this particular region. Okay, in case of roads, you can see here, in case of roads, there is some soil or some hilly region is here. Okay, sorry, yeah, there is some hilly region is here. Okay, and they don't want this hilly soil from this hilly region to fail in this area. Therefore what they have done, they have constructed some retaining wall here. Again, in case of this road, you can see here there is some hilly portion here, so they have constructed a retaining wall here. Again, what they want to prevent this soil material or this road material to remain in its intact position. Therefore they have again constructed one retaining wall like this also. Okay, the main purpose is to retain the soil material on one side. Okay, to retain the soil material on one side, this is the main purpose. Okay, the same picture is shown here. There is some hilly material is or hillside portion is here, and they don't want this material to fail on this road. Therefore, they have constructed some retaining wall to retain this soil material. Okay, here again similar retaining wall is constructed along the roadside. You can see here, this is a bridge, and you can see some wing wall is being constructed. Why this wing wall is constructed? They don't want to or they want to prevent this soil material to fail in this area. Therefore, they have constructed some wing wall for this particular bridge. At the same time, you can see here some abutments is constructed. This is called as abutment of a bridge. You can see here this particular portion of your bridge, this is called as abutment. On other side of abutment, if you see, there is some material is again provided here. Okay, so abutment will also act as a retaining wall. This will also act as a retaining wall because it is retaining the earth material on one side of it. Okay, again here some bridge is being constructed, and this is the retaining this is the wing wall which will be retaining this soil material. Again will be you can see here some abutment is constructed. This portion of your bridge is called as abutment. So this abutment will also be retaining the soil mass on this area. This will be retaining the soil mass or pressure from the soil from this area. Okay, so this is one of the use of providing some retaining wall. Okay, here again some wing wall and abutments are constructed. Again same. Okay, here you can see in this rail construction project what they have done. There is some lowered area in this region, there is some low height area in this region, and they don't want the soil material or water to flow from this area to this area. Therefore, they have constructed some retaining wall like this. They have constructed some retaining wall like this in this particular area. Okay, here again similar phenomenon is shown. Now whenever we are constructing some retaining wall, whenever we will be constructing some retaining wall. Okay, sorry, just a minute. Okay, so what is the purpose of providing some retaining wall? So what we will be doing, we will be constructing some wall like structure. Okay, and some soil mass is retained on one side. Some soil mass is retained on the one side of this particular retaining wall. There may be some road will be here, or some basement will be here, So on the side in which the soil mass is retained, this is called as a backfill. This portion is called as a backfill. So this portion is called as a backfill of a retaining wall. Just a minute. It is called as a backfill of a retaining wall. Okay, so this portion, so this is your retaining wall, and the material which is retained in this particular region, this is called as a backfill. Okay, now the backfill may have horizontal or inclined. In this particular figure B, you can see the backfill material, that is the material which is retained by this retaining wall. This is a retaining wall. The material, it is called as a backfill. And this material can be finished in a horizontal manner, like this, or this backfill can be, like this. Okay, you can see here the backfill is provided with some angle with the horizontal. Let us consider this angle is theta. So when the backfill is provided with some angle, this backfill portion above the horizontal area or above the horizontal finish, this is called as a surcharge. This is called as a surcharge. These terms are already covered in geotechnical engineering. These terms are already covered in your geotechnical engineering in the construction of your foundation, I think. Okay, I am not sure, but I think it is covered in construction of your foundations. Okay, so when this backfill material, if this is your retaining wall and if it is horizontal, then there is no problem. But if this backfill material is having some slope, let us consider it is provided at an angle theta, then this is called as, this portion is called as surcharge. It is called as a surcharge. Okay, surcharge, it is called as a surcharge. And the angle made by this angle theta, the angle made by this surcharge with the horizontal, it is called as surcharge angle. It is called as surcharge angle. It is called as a surcharge angle. Okay. Now the use of retaining wall. The primary use of retaining wall is to retain some soil material or any the other material. Okay, this is the use of retaining wall. Whichever the soil material which is in excess of the natural angle of repose of that particular material. Now you know that if you pour some soil on the ground, if you pour some soil on the ground, what it will do? It will retain some shape like this. It will retain some shape like this. Okay, so it will retain some slope like this. So the slope at which this material or soil retains its shape, it is called as angle of repose. This angle is called as angle of repose. So the function of this retaining wall is to retain the soil at an angle in excess of this soil's natural angle of repose. So if this is your angle of repose, okay, then the retaining wall will be retaining the soil mass in this particular region only. This will be retained by the soil mass, whereas this particular region, this particular soil which is shown by this black portion, this will be retained at its own self-weight on the your ground. It will not affect this your retaining wall. Okay. Okay. Here is some picture showing the horizontal backfill. So the backfill is provided in a horizontal layer. Again, here you can see in this particular picture, the backfill is provided at some angle with the horizontal. Let us consider theta. So this is the surcharge angle. This angle is called as surcharge. This angle is called as surcharge angle. And the backfill material which is placed here, it is called as surcharge. Now this backfill material or surcharge can be, if this is your retaining wall, this surcharge can be like this. Okay, this is your horizontal layer and the surcharge may be like this. Okay, the surcharge or soil material again poured here, this can be like this. Okay, so there is no angle here. Okay, it is not provided at some angle, but at the same time this surcharge can be provided like this also. Okay, so soil mass is filled like this. So it is this angle is called as angle of repose. Okay, now we will see what are the different parts of retaining wall. As already discussed, this is your retaining wall. Okay, this particular portion, this is your retaining wall. Okay, so the material which is retained on this side of your retaining wall, the material which is retained on this side, this is called as a backfill. This is called as a backfill material or backfill. So soil retained here, it is called as backfill. You can see this is the angle of repose of your material. The angle of repose of different soil mass will be different. So for cohesionless soil or for sands, the angle of repose will be different. For clays, for clays the angle of repose will be different, for silty clays the angle of repose will be different. So like this, for different material the angle of repose are different. Then which are the different parts of your retaining wall? So this part, this vertical part of your retaining wall, this vertical part of your retaining wall, this is called as a stem. It is called as a stem, which is shown like this. This is called as a stem. It is a stem. So stem of retaining wall, it is the stem of a retaining wall. Okay, then we have some another part. This is the toe portion of your retaining wall. This is the toe portion of your retaining wall. Okay, this portion, this is your toe. This portion is toe of your retaining wall, which is constructed on other side or opposite side of this backfill. This is your backfill, and the portion on the opposite side of your backfill, this is called as a toe. This is called as a toe. Whereas the portion on the side of your toe backfill, the portion on the side of your backfill, this is called as a heel. This portion is called as a heel. Okay, whereas this slab as a whole, this is called as a base. This whole slab is called as a base slab. Okay, so these are different parts of your retaining wall. Now in between, what we'll be doing, we'll be providing some drainage or weep holes through the retaining wall for draining of water from the other side of your backfill. Okay, because what will happen if you are retaining some sand here, okay, or cohesionless soil here, then the pressure will be more in case of sand, but as compared with the dry clays. But if you are providing some clays, if you are providing clays as a black backfill material, clay means you can consider a black cotton soil, by BC soil. Okay, if you are providing a clay, if it is dry, then the pressure exerted by this clay on this retaining wall, this will be less. But if it is moist, or it is provided with some moisture content, or there is some water proportion is there in this particular clay, then what will happen? The pressure exerted by this clay material on the soil is very high. Therefore, it is required to drain off this particular water from the backfill material. This water is required to be removed. Therefore, what we will be doing, we will be providing some weep holes, or we will be constructing some we will be providing some pipes here, okay, for drainage of that particular water. Okay, I'll show you one picture showing that weep holes. Yeah. Okay, you can see here some weep holes are provided like this here. Okay, you can see here some weep holes are provided here. Okay, so what we will be doing during construction of your retaining wall, we will be providing, or we will be inserting some pipes through this. Just a minute. Okay, so what we will be doing, we will be providing some or inserting some pipe through this retaining wall at the time of construction, so that this type of holes will be remain after the construction. So what is the purpose? It will drain off the water on the other side of this retaining wall. On back side of this retaining wall, there will be some material which may contain some moisture. So to remove that moisture, what we will be doing, we will be providing such type of weep holes. Just a minute. Okay, so this type of weep holes will be provided to drain off some water on the other side of your retaining wall. So these are different parts of your retaining wall. This is your stem, this is your toe. Toe means the portion on the opposite side of your backfill, and this is the heel portion, that is the portion on the side of your backfill. Whereas in case of some retaining walls, some shear key like this, some shear key will also be provided, that is some fixing arrangement will be provided, which will be again made up of RCC. So so this is called as shear key. This is called as shear key. This is provided when the check for our check against sliding is failed. When the check against sliding is failed, then we will be providing some shear key in case of this retaining walls. Okay. Now there are different types of retaining walls are there. For example, we have the first type of retaining wall is a gravity retaining wall. The second type is cantilever retaining wall. This is the retaining wall which we will be designing, and it is in the syllabus. Remaining three are not there in the syllabus. Okay, so cantilever retaining wall. The next type of retaining wall is a counterfort retaining wall. Counterfort retaining wall. This is one word. Okay, by mistake there is one space is left. This is a counterfort retaining wall, and the fourth type of retaining wall is buttressed retaining wall. Buttressed retaining wall, we will see one by one each type of retaining wall. Okay, so the first type of retaining wall is a gravity retaining wall. Gravity retaining wall. So the gravity retaining walls are made up of massive stone masonry or plain cement concrete. Plain cement concrete. So the behavior or the action of this retaining wall, if we are providing some backfill material on this portion, if we are providing some backfill material on this portion like this, let us consider this is a backfill. This is a backfill material. Okay, so we are providing some backfill soil. Let us consider soil. Whatever is the pressure developed due to this soil, okay, that pressure, if there is some pressure from this soil, that pressure will be retained by this retaining wall by the weight of its own self weight, by its own self weight. Okay, so this is the action by which this type of gravity retaining wall will be retaining the soil mass, So stability against the pressure exerted by the backfill is entirely provided by the dead weight of the retaining wall or self weight of your retaining wall. So stability is provided by the self weight. The dimension, as you know that this is the only action involved is gravity or self weight of this retaining wall. Therefore the dimensions of this particular retaining walls will be very huge. Dimensions of this retaining wall will be very huge. At the same time, this can be used up to a height of 3 meters only. This can be used up to a height of 3 meters only, because if you are providing this type of gravity retaining wall for more height than 3 meters, then what will happen? This will become uneconomical. Okay, generally the material used for construction of this type of gravity retaining walls is PCC and your brickwork. PCC and brickwork. Now the dimensioning of this type of gravity retaining wall is done in such a manner that no tension is induced in the wall. There is no tension is induced in the wall, and the resultant of the force remains in the middle third of the base. Okay, so this is the principle on which this gravity retaining wall is provided. Okay, the next type of retaining wall is a cantilever retaining wall. It is called as a cantilever retaining wall. This is the most common type of retaining wall which are constructed in the construction industry, and this can be used for a height of 3 meters to 8 meters. Sometimes in some textbook it is given as 3 to 6 meters. Some textbooks consider this as a 3 to 6 meter. We can construct this for more than 8 meters also, but it will become less economical. At the same time, the stability will be in doubt if we are constructing this type of cantilever retaining wall for huge height. Therefore up to 3 to 8 meters it is sufficient, and generally for normal works we don't require retaining walls of height more than 8 meters. Okay, generally for basements or road construction we may require some height more than 8 meters. Okay, so there are two different types of cantilever retaining walls are there. The first type of retaining wall is L type retaining wall, is L type retaining wall. You can see in this particular picture, see, this is a L type retaining wall. So retaining wall is constructed like this. Okay, so we will be having a hill slab here, we will be having a hill slab here, we will be having a stem here, we will be having a stem here, and some backfill material will be here. Okay, backfill material will be here, whereas the toe slab will be missing. The toe slab will be missing in this particular L type of retaining wall or cantilever retaining wall. It is called as a L shaped cantilever retaining wall, whereas the second type of cantilever retaining wall is called as a T shaped retaining wall. The second type of retaining wall is called as a T shaped retaining wall. Okay, in this type of T shaped retaining wall, what will be having, the different parts will be, there will be one stem, there will be one stem, this is your stem. Okay, this is your stem. Then we will be having a toe slab, we will be having a toe slab. This particular portion, this is called as a toe slab, whereas we will be again having one hill slab, we will be having one hill slab. Hill slab will be on the side of your earth fill or backfill, okay, the hill slab will be on the side of your backfill. So soil mass will be retained on this area or on this side. Okay, then the cantilever wall similar, the same is explained here. Okay, that is, it consists of a stem, this stem, then it consists of a toe slab, it consists of a hill slab. All the three components of this wall act as a cantilever. Okay, and it is called, therefore it is called as a cantilever retaining wall. You can see here the backfill or the soil will be retained on this side. Okay, the backfill will be retained on this side. Therefore what the backfill will be doing, the backfill will be inserting some pressure on this stem wall. It will be inserting some pressure on the stem wall. It is fixed here, it is fixed here. Okay, just a minute. Is my screen visible to you? Screen visible to you? Yeah, it is fixed here. I think there is some lag in the video. Okay, it is fixed here. So what will happen due to this pressure? It will act, this particular portion or stem, it will act as a cantilever portion. It will act as a cantilever. It will act as a cantilever. Again, you can see this hill slab. This hill slab, what will be happening? There will be weight, self weight of soil. There will be weight of soil that will be acting on this hill slab. Therefore it is again fixed here, it is again fixed here. Therefore it will again act as a cantilever. It will again act as a cantilever and deflect like this. Okay, so this stem is acting as a cantilever, this hill slab is acting as a cantilever. Then you can see here we have a toe slab here, we have a toe slab here like this. So again, what is the possibility? That there is some possibility that there will be some soil mass on this side of your backfill will be there. Okay, there will be some soil mass, because you will have to embed this particular retaining wall in the ground up to some height. You have to provide this retaining wall some depth as a for foundation. Therefore you will be having some soil mass on this area also. So this soil mass will be exerting pressure on this toe slab, and this will be also acting as a cantilever. This will be acting as a cantilever again. Therefore, as all the components of this retaining wall are acting as a cantilever, therefore this is called as a cantilever retaining wall. It is called as a cantilever retaining wall. All the components of this cantilever retaining wall resist the pressure exerted by the soil by bending action. This retaining wall will, the stem will bend like this, the stem will bend like this. Okay, this is exaggerated figure. Okay, the toe slab, this will be bending like this, whereas the hill slab, this will be bending like this. Okay, so this will be the bend shape, and the pressure is resisted by the bending action of your retaining wall. Okay, now it can be used for a height 3 to 6 meter or 3 to 8 meters, 3 to 8 meter. Beyond 3 to 8 beyond 8 meter you can use this particular retaining wall but it will become uneconomical to provide such type of cantilever retaining wall if you are using it for more heights. Okay, the weight of backfill on the hill slab, the weight of backfill on the hill slab and weight of wall together provide the stability to the wall. You can see here there will be some weight of this soil mass on this hill slab. There will be some weight of this soil mass on this hill slab will be there. At the same this will resist the this will help in increasing the stability. At the same time the wall will resist the pressure from the earth by bending or by cantilever action. Now next type of retaining wall is a counterfort retaining wall. It is called as a counterfort retaining wall. Now when we have the height of your retaining wall is more than, when your height of retaining wall h is greater than 6 meter or 8 meter, 6 meter or 8 meter, it is not economical to provide cantilever retaining wall. So what we'll be doing, we'll be providing some counterforts like this at some interval, some counterfort like this at some interval in your cantilever retaining wall. Now if this is your cantilever retaining wall, let us consider this is your cantilever retaining wall. Okay, this is your cantilever retaining wall. Okay, this is your cantilever retaining wall. Let us consider it is continued on this side. Okay, so your cantilever retaining wall will be something like this. Okay, so in addition we will be having backfill material on this side, we will be having backfill material on this side. So in addition to this cantilever retaining wall, what we will be doing to increase the more stability or to provide more stability, we will be constructing some wall like arrangement or that is called as counterfort, like this. Okay, so this will be again RCC or brickwork depending upon what material availability. So like this arrangement will be provided to increase the stability. So this is called as counterfort. This is again counterfort. So this type of counterforts are provided at some regular intervals. Okay, let us consider these are provided at a spacing of L. Okay, this will increase the stability and thus reducing the dimension of your retaining wall. Okay, similar figure is explained here. You can see the counterforts are provided like this. The counterfort are provided like this, whereas the counterforts are provided on the side of your backfill. Okay, we are having our retained soil on this side, whereas there will be no soil on this area, no soil on this area, or there may be some soil which will be provided over the foundation of this particular retaining wall, but this is not considered for the stability consideration. The main soil which is will be retaining, that will be on this side. The soil we want to retain, that will be on this side. Okay, so counterforts are provided on the side on which the soil mass is to be retained. Okay, now the backfill and the counterfort and hill slab are constructed together in this wall. The stem and hill do not act as a cantilever. Okay, you can see as we are constructing some counterfort, you can see here as we are constructing some counterfort here, we are constructing some counterfort like this, before construction of this counterfort or before providing this counterfort, what the action was like a cantilever retaining wall, but as we are providing some counterfort in between, therefore now this stem slab Now this stem slab will act as a continuous slab. It will act as a continuous slab. Therefore the action from cantilever is changed to continuous slab. The action is changed from cantilever to continuous slab. Okay, this results in reduction in the bending moment and shear forces which are developed due to action of your soil mass. Okay, next type of retaining wall is a buttressed retaining wall. In case of your counterfort retaining wall, you can see in this particular figure. Okay, in case of your this figure, you can see the soil mass is provided here. Okay, soil mass is provided here and the counterforts are provided on the side of your on the side of your soil mass only. But if we are constructing these counterforts, on the opposite direction, on this direction, from this direction, then it is called as a buttressed retaining wall. Then this retaining wall is called as a buttressed retaining wall. You can see here the similar phenomenon is shown. Sorry. Okay, you can see here we are having some backfill material on this side, we are having backfill material on this side, whereas the buttresses or counterforts or buttresses are provided like this on the opposite side of your backfill, but it is not provided throughout. It will be provided at sufficient intervals in plan. If you are seeing this plan, you can see no buttress arrangement is here, no buttress arrangement is here. We are having buttress or counterforts here. Again we are having one buttress or counterfort here, and no buttresses are provided in between portion. Okay, this is one of the real picture of buttressed retaining wall. You can see here, this is your stem or wall of your retaining wall, and this type of buttresses are provided. This result in reduction in the bending moment and shear forces developed. Okay, this type of buttresses are provided, but you can see here the buttresses are provided on the opposite side of your backfill material. The backfill material will be on the opposite side here. Okay, which area is not seen in this picture. On that area there will be retaining soil or your backfill, but the buttresses in case of this buttress retaining wall are provided in the opposite direction of your backfill material, whereas in case of counterfort retaining wall, these counterforts or buttresses are provided on the side of your backfill material. That is the difference between buttress retaining wall and the buttress retaining wall and the counterfort retaining wall. Okay, similar buttress retaining wall is provided here. You can see some counterfort extending from the retaining wall here. Okay, now what are the different pressures acting on your retaining wall? What are the different pressures which are acting on your retaining wall? Now you can see here, just a minute, time it is now, just a minute. Yeah, now you can see here now whenever earth particle exert force, whenever we put the earth amongst near each other, then the earth particle will be exerting pressure on each other. This pressure is called as earth pressure. This pressure is called as a earth pressure. Okay, this pressure is called as a earth pressure. Okay, so when earth particle exert pressure among each other, it is known as the earth pressure. Now when a retaining wall is provided to retain some soil mass, okay, some earth pressure will be developed, and it tends to deflect that particular retaining wall away from the backfill. So what is happening here? Okay, just a minute. Just a minute, wait for a minute. Just Okay, so so let us consider this is our retaining wall. This is our retaining wall. Okay, let us consider this is our retaining wall, and there is some backfill material is here. Backfill material means it is some soil mass which is retained on this side. Okay, this is our retaining wall. Okay, so this is our retaining wall. Okay, this is our stem, this is our toe slab, this is our toe slab, this is our heel slab. Okay, and some backfill material is here, some backfill material is here. Okay, let us consider some soil mass is there, some soil mass is there. So what will happen? Okay, um, I think in fluid mechanics it is covered. If you are placing something here against some water, what will happen? Some water is retained here. What will happen? The water will exert some pressure on this particular wall area. Okay, the water will be exerting pressure on this particular wall area. Okay, so similar phenomenon is there. What is happening? This soil mass will be exerting some pressure, this soil mass will be exerting some pressure on this particular retaining wall, on this particular retaining wall. Due to this pressure, what will happen? This retaining wall may move away from the, this retaining wall may move away from the soil mass. This retaining wall may move away from the soil mass. There may be possibility that new position of your retaining wall will be like this. There is a possibility that the new position of your retaining wall, new position of your retaining wall will be like this. Your new position of your retaining wall will be like this. Okay, so what is happening? This soil retaining wall is moving away from the backfill. So whatever pressure exerted by, so whatever pressure is exerted by your earth mass or your backfill on this soil mass, on this soil mass, sorry, on this retaining wall, that is on this retaining wall, that is called as a active earth pressure. This pressure is called as a active earth pressure. This is called as active earth pressure. Okay, this is, I think, covered in your geotechnical engineering. This is covered in your geotechnical engineering portion. Okay, so this is called as active earth pressure. Okay, so due to this active earth pressure, what happens? The soil on this region, that is soil on the backfill area, this will be subjected to tension. This will be subjected to tension. This soil, backfill soil, this will be subjected to tension. This will be subjected to tension. Okay, so this is called as active earth pressure. The next type of pressure which is acting on your retaining wall, next type of pressure which is acting on your retaining wall, that is called as a passive earth pressure. That is called as a passive earth pressure. Okay, now just a minute. Now if this is your same retaining wall, let us consider same retaining wall. Okay, just a minute. Now let us consider the same retaining wall. Okay, let us consider the same retaining wall, okay, which is subjected to some pressure from the backfill. Okay, so there will be some pressure from this side, that is from the side of your backfill, that is from the side of your backfill. Okay, this is called as active earth pressure. This is called as active earth pressure. But at the same time, you should know that we don't provide this type of retaining wall on the ground. We won't be providing this type of retaining wall on the ground. We require some strong foundation. Therefore, what we'll be doing, we'll be providing this retaining wall at some depth with respect to the ground level, natural ground level. Natural ground level will be there. This will be your natural ground level. This will be your natural ground level, and this is your ground level on the of the backfill. So what is happening here is that due to this natural ground level soil, this is due to soil on this. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? Hmm. Now if we see this, okay, we are having some natural ground level here, therefore some soil mass will be here also, there will be some soil mass will be here. So what this soil mass is doing, this soil mass will be exerting pressure from this side, this soil mass will be exerting some pressure from this side, this soil mass will be exerting some pressure from this side. Therefore the soil mass on the area side of backfill, this will be subjected to compression or compressive force, this will be subjected to compression or compressive force. And what will happen, the your retaining wall will move in this direction, your retaining wall will move in this direction. So the pressure exerted by this soil mass on the toe side is called as a passive earth pressure, it is called as a passive earth pressure, it is called as a passive earth pressure. Okay, so this type of two different types of earth pressure will be acting there. Okay,